Hey everyone, it's December 28th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with serial killer Thor Nis Christiansen, who murdered 4 victims in the late 1970s, and that is him right up there. Christiansen was born in Denmark in 1956, then moved with his family to Inglewood, California at the age of 5. Perhaps seeking a taste of home, the family then moved to Solvang, a Danish community near Santa Barbara where they opened a restaurant. He was a good student until the end of his high school career when he lost interest in school, started drinking and smoking marijuana, and neglected his studies. After dropping out, he took a job working at a gas station and moved out of his parents' house. He also put on a lot of weight, growing to be nearly 300 pounds. Christiansen was fascinated by death and stories of necrophilia and fantasized about shooting women before defiling their corpses. In 1976, 3 young women disappeared from UC Santa Barbara in what were deemed look-alike murders because the victims looked very similar to one another. The first 2 were a 21-year-old student abducted from a bus stop and a student working as a waitress who went missing the same day. A month later, another 21-year-old student was taken from a different bus stop. Their bodies turned up just after the 3rd abduction, and each had been shot in the head with a small caliber pistol and then molested after they had died. Christiansen was one of hundreds of men who were questioned about the disappearances, but wasn't considered a suspect despite the police confiscating a .22 caliber pistol from his car. He then moved to Oregon, where he lost the weight he had put on before deciding to return to the Santa Barbara area. After taking classes at a community college, he obtained his high school diploma and moved in platonically with a woman he met while she was hitchhiking. But Christiansen hadn't turned his life around entirely, because in 1977 he drove down to Los Angeles where he picked up a prostitute that he killed and dumped in the San Gabriel Mountains. In 1979, he picked up a 24-year-old woman at a bar in Hollywood and shot her in the head while driving. She managed to not only survive the attack, she leapt from the car and was able to report it to the police. When she was on the mend a few months later, she saw Christiansen at another bar in Hollywood and instantly called the police, who arrested him. Because of the similarity to previous murders in Santa Barbara and his ties to the area, he became a suspect in the look-alike killings from a few years prior. He initially pleaded guilty to the murders due to insanity, but withdrew the plea and just pleaded guilty, receiving life in prison. Christiansen was then stabbed to death by a fellow prisoner in 1981. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Thor Nis Christiansen, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.